And we're live.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Administrative Charging Committee's meeting, Wednesday, July 26th, 2023. We're going to do a welcome and a roll call. My name is Paul Rivers, and I'm present.
Chris Gallant, member of the committee.
Sean Lamb, present.
Octavia Kidd, present.
Samantha Phillips Chester, present.
And Steve Yeager, Council of the Administrative Charging Committee.
Kiana?
Kiana Kinsler, present.
Excellent. And what we're going to do next, before we get to our guests, we have guests online today. But before we get to that guest, I would like to have an approval of the minutes from June 28th meeting, 2023. Has everybody had a chance to look at it?
Yes.
Move for approval of the minutes from June 28th, 2023.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Chris. Second by Sean. All in favor? Paul Rivers, aye. Yes.
Chris Gallant, yes.
Sean Lamb, yes.
Octavia Kidd, yes.
Samantha Phillips Chester, yes.
Okay, it's a unanimous decision. The minutes have been passed. Our next topic, which was a board stipend discussion, we're gonna have to table to our next meeting because the individuals we need to talk to are not here today, not online, not present. Is that right, Kiana?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna table that to our next meeting.
And
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, are we going, are they requested to attend the next meeting?
Yes, they have.
Okay, and did they confirm that date?
Correct. They have.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Yeah, they said that one was on vacation. Is that right, Kiana? She was on vacation?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Thank you.
thank you. That's tabled to our next meeting. All right, that brings us to the Howard County Police Department discussion. We have on the line Lieutenant Thomas and I think Lieutenant Reed. Okay, and Lieutenant Thomas, do you want to make any statements first, or Lieutenant Reed, whichever you want to take over? You have anything you want to say first?
I also have Sergeant Bendu here with me as well.
Good evening.
Say again?
I also have Sergeant Bendu here with me as well.
Okay, all right.
Good evening, everybody.
Well, the floor is yours. Do you have something you wanted to say first?
No, we were here to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, great. And you guys want to start with the questions?
Well, one question I have is that I think during our last meeting, we anticipated a case coming our way for this month of July. Is that still on the docket or has that date changed?
So we have 5 cases currently that are going to have to go through the ACC. One of them is just about ready, so that should be a week or 2 away.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Follow-up questions on that? Because I have a question. I'll give you guys a chance. You have anything?
Not on that follow-up, but. go
Okay.
ahead.
On the case that you're talking about a week or 2 away, are we talking about getting it, I guess, a week or 2? Assuming we're gonna get it before the end of August? Is that what you're stating?
Could be. So as soon as you guys get have you gotten your computers yet?
No,
So
we have not.
The computers are dropped off actually this afternoon. They're in Kiana's office, but once you guys actually get the first case submitted to the portal, we'll actually do a tutorial with you guys to walk you through each step so that way you know how to access the portal and be able to view all the documents that's necessary.
Okay, the follow-up question to that is, these computers have to stay here, at the headquarters here?
Yes.
Or are we allowed to take them home?
Kiana will be in charge of disseminating the laptops, but they will have to stay at the George Howard building. You won't be able to access the portal outside of the county network.
I do have a question.
Go ahead.
So the tutorial that's gonna be provided by Howard County Police Department, is when? Is this gonna be like a group thing? We all come in here? Or will we, how is this gonna work?
Yes. Once we have a better timeline of when the case is exactly going to be ready for you guys, we will let you know. We will definitely set up a time. It could correlate to the next time you guys have a meeting. I believe you have one in about a week or two.
No,
No.
that's, the PAB has one in a week. The ACC doesn't meet again to the end of August,
Until the end of August?
correct?
Okay.
August 30th is our next meeting with the ACC.
And I won't be here for that meeting.
And one of our members won't be here for that meeting. So we'll have to set something up
Okay.
to be able to come in here and look at what you have. Because of the time constraints, this is where the problem starts to run in, and the location where we'll be able to review the cases. Do we have a location we gotta find out if we have a location in the building, we'll be able to review the cases in, with a confidential, area where nobody else can actually look over and hear what we're saying.
Yeah, that's gonna be upstairs and on our floor, on the third floor, where somebody that has a badge will have to scan you all in like we had to at the previous meeting. So we have 2 rooms up there that y'all can disseminate in and out of.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So for me to access the computer to review the case is only during business hours of the county in this building?
No, I have a badge that'll let me in any door that I need to go in.
Oh, meaning, let's say that I want to come in on a Saturday to review the case and make my notes so I can be prepared to meet as a board. Do I have to contact you for you to scan something on a Saturday? Meaning, does it have to be during business hours, or pretty much it is just limited to make sure that we are accessing this data in this secure building on this secured server?
So we'll make arrangements for the times that y'all can come. If you can't come on a weekday, then we're gonna have to make county administration is gonna have to make arrangements for you all to be able to view the cases in a timely manner.
Thank you.
And another question about, you saying badges to get in the building. We can't even go up and down in the elevator without a badge. So it becomes a problem if we have to go back out to a car, if you have to go somewhere else and then come back in. You feel like you've got to be, you're hampered. Is there any way we're gonna be able to get around that, even limited access for a badge limited to the building, at least to get in on the elevator? Because I see a potential problem with that as we get deeper into this situation. I don't see us, having to wait and then figure out how to get back upstairs once we come downstairs. So that's something to think about, that we need to push ahead to somebody, to look at that in the future, because even when I was on the CAC, it gave us badge accesses to back over there to get into that building. So, that's something we need to look at in the future so that we don't run into any problems. Right now, we only got 1 case to deal with, may not be an issue, but you get 5 or 6, that could be a problem.
So Kiana, I guess the ask is it possible that we receive badge access and then find out what is that access level is? Meaning, I'm assuming Officer Law, you can come in on Saturday, right?
Not here.
Not in this building.
I don't think so.
Well, you say you don't work on that.
I know, my office is elsewhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I would say if we're able to come on Saturday with that access level and what that access level is first, I guess that's the ask. Like, can we get badges and what will be the access levels?
Okay.
Kiona, just FYI, from a technical standpoint, those badges can be programmed for whenever they need access for, but I don't know if there's a policy reason that they wouldn't be able to. So I'm familiar with the badge access system we use here. I know that they can be calibrated for specific hours on specific days.
Yeah, I would probably have to ask because I don't know how they would be able to, because from what I was told previously, it was only for county employees, but I'll ask them. I have no problem asking.
Thank you. Okay. Number 2, for the officers. So we know about the training, that they're gonna have to give us training on how to work these systems. We've asked that we not be given any, cases on a Friday afternoon, because we lose 3 days right away when coming to, you know, to finishing up the cases. So we're looking at, if you're gonna give us a case, that'll be on, you know, during the weekday, probably Monday or Tuesday, or even a Wednesday. But anything in the later part of the week kind of delays the process, because we probably won't even be able to get to it to the following week. So we don't want to be tasked with a deadline that's premature because we didn't get a hold of the case in time. Is that doable?
Yep. Yeah, that's no problem.
Say again?
That's no problem.
Okay,
We
good.
can get to it on Monday or Tuesday.
Excellent. That's some of the things that we looked at, because of the fact that we're all coming from different locations and, doing different things. We don't want to get, you know, make a mistake and overshoot our deadlines. So we don't definitely want to do that. Tim, you said you had another question?
No, not at this time.
And I don't know if it's a question specifically to, police, maybe I guess it's a general question. So hypothetically, if we get a case on the Monday, it wouldn't necessarily that we have to get together to pull it. It's just pretty much we can go and access the computers to pull it from the portal and start reviewing it. And then we're coming together as a board, right?
Right.
To have, you know, our discussions,
Right.
deliberations. So I just want to be clear that, the emails that are assigned to us, we would get an email alert
That's a good question.
that says we have a new case, and then that will prompt and trigger us to start the clock. How will we get the prompt that we are going to receive a particular case? Are we gonna get emailed? Or is the chair getting the email, or us as a group getting an email, some notification?
I've been corresponding with Kiona as far as cases go, so I don't know if that's something that you want to continue, where I would just send her an email letting her know that there's one ready and that we're going to push it.
Okay,
That's
so,
good.
okay, so Kiana, you will get the case first, and then you will disseminate that case, that notification to us via email.
Correct.
Okay,
That's good. We need to have a point of contact when it comes to that. Okay, so. You?
Yeah.
Sure. Samantha, anything else?
no, I was just trying to make sure
I
it
just
got.
want to clarify, so.
Go ahead.
So just for clarity purposes, the laptops have to remain on site on the county property. As far as the portal is concerned, did I understand that we can only access the portal from the laptop on the county's property? Or can we can't access the portal on a different device? Okay,
No.
Sir. No, sir.
good.
We're clear.
Just want to be clear.
All
Sir.
right, so my last question on this is that, all right, when you get your cases in, you get it turned over, we're gonna give us a tutorial on how to work this portal. How long do you anticipate the tutorial to last? How long do you think this training is gonna take in order for, so we know to sketch out that amount of time for the training?
It shouldn't take that. It shouldn't take that long. The system's pretty self-explanatory. It's just basically clicking on documents and opening them up and reading them.
Yeah, it shouldn't take long at all. It just, I have the passwords, for you guys to log into each computer, as well as to log into, the actual portal. I mean, total, I mean, we're probably talking about 15, 20 minutes, if that.
Okay, excellent. Right, anybody else have any questions for the police department? Sean? Tavia? Samantha?
No.
All right, sir, do you have anything else you'd like to tell us, anything that you think we haven't asked you about already? No?
No, yeah, I think we're getting ready to send some cases, so I think everything's been set up.
How many cases do you have in total right now that you're working through?
Well, we have 5 that are going to have to go through the ACC, so they've been coming in since July 1st.
Wow.
Pretty steady.
You said they have to go through the ACC, so I'm assuming you have other cases that don't come through the ACC.
Right, we have other cases that don't involve citizen impact. So they're internally generated, internal complaints.
Okay. 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 All right. All right, then, I don't think we have anything else for you at this time. Do you guys have anything else? Anybody? We have them here. I can't think of anything.
Can't think
right
of
now.
anything either.
You know, we're gonna think of it when you get off the line. We'll probably think about that. But as right now, we can't think of any other things except, you know, waiting to see what the case is gonna be. And then we'll move forward from there once we get the first case. That'll be the one that we'll work on the first.
Yep, and if you think of anything, just let Kiona know and she can contact me directly and I'll be happy to answer.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen, thank you for your
Thank you
time.
very
We
much.
appreciate it. You can stay on if you want to, but we have no further questions for you at this time. So
Thank you.
thank you for coming up and showing up.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. All right,
Good evening.
okay. All right, so we've finished with that. Anybody have anything else on that they need to talk about?
No, just thinking about that whole process, that's gonna limit our ability to really work on these cases because we have to, unless we do so individually, because we can only do it here, so we're constrained as to where we can do them. So we're gonna have to have multiple meetings, as you know, so we can have discussion, we can.
No. I said, I know.
Oh.
I was just thinking that even if Samantha does her due diligence and comes in on the weekend, the rest of us may not come in on the weekend.
Right.
So she'll be miles ahead of us and then we'll have to catch up. And it's just one of those things that we gotta figure out, as a group, how we want to approach this. And that's why I asked to make sure that we have the cases on a Monday or Tuesday. That way it gives us that time to kind of formulate who has time, because everybody's working different schedules,
Right.
or have different things going on. So we have to figure out when we can make time that we can meet as a group,
Right.
in order to do this. And then, yeah, if we can get in and look at the cases in advance, it'll be easy when we get to come together as a group.
That's
Right.
We've already formulated an opinion on what we need, and then we open up the discussion. And that's quicker to get it that way. But if we have to come in and read everything,
Right.
and that takes, you know, for me, I'm a slow reader. I take my time. Some people can be speed readers, but I take my time and look at things and I pick things apart. And that may be too slow for you. You know, I'm just making that up right now, but I could be too slow for you. And you guys are ready to go. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, I got to get through this. And then it could just mess everything up. So,
I just think the time received would determine how we should map milestones. That's just me thinking out loud. So we get something on that Monday and, we know it has 30 days. We need to have some milestones,
Right.
at least say, for example, hypothetically, like in 2 weeks, we should be able to come together, have a preliminary discussion.
right,
Yeah.
Just a preliminary
right,
kind of things that maybe
Right.
you saw that I didn't see
Right.
to consider.
but we have to do
And
that.
then,
yeah.
and then maybe, in that final meeting would determine, let's have our final discussion or vote on, on whatever findings or decisions we make. So then we can pass that on to Chris to actually draft the document. Because it appears to me that it's gonna be it's gonna be some overlap. So while he's formulating something, we could be having to review another case and
Right.
mapping out the timeline.
Right.
And then after he does the document, it's gonna have to come to us to make sure just to make sure everything is good.
Right.
You endorse it as the chair and move on. So I think, we won't be able to solidify a standard operating process until we see the first case.
Right,
And then hit those milestones and then calendar out
right,
where we need to be, because it may be something that may have a short time frame. We may have to ask the advice to either request more, we
Right.
don't know.
we may need more information. So there's a few
Correct.
things that may come up. So,
Correct. So that's why I think, when we get the case and they tell us after we get trained, and if he says, okay, I'm gonna give you this case on, just for example, September 1st, then we have to already start thinking to say, we need to map out a calendar.
right. My thought is this: when Kiana sends out and says, "Okay, we have a case," let's say Monday, we get a case Monday. If we had the training already, I would leave it up to individuals to get in here between Monday and Friday
Right.
kind of look it over, and then set up a meeting for the following week. On, one evening on the following week, and then we'd all come together. And hopefully by that time,
That's why I said.
Yeah. Well, we need to make that timeframe though.
Oh, it sounds better when it comes from you.
So we have to make the timeframe.
Steven, I got a question. My question is, how many of them can be in one room together to review a case? So since it's 5 people, I'm saying like, can
Wait a
3
minute,
people be in one
well,
room?
no. What do you mean by reviewing a case? Because we can all be together to
So, say
review a
for-
case.
Right, that's what I'm asking.
Me,
So
yeah.
say for example, one day y'all say like on Tuesday, y'all can all meet at 6 o'clock. I'll stay there till we done or whatever. But I'm saying, can everybody meet in the same room, or do they have to be split up?
Oh, that's not what we did in
Yeah,
training.
I don't think.
In training, we always in the same room.
No,
in the
no.
same
I'm
house.
saying, so after the training is over, and now it's time for everybody to review the case. Can everybody meet in the same room to review the case, or do
Hold
they have
on,
to be?
Steve, what do you gotta say?
So I think there are 2 different things being discussed,
Right.
2 different, okay.
Correct.
The deliberation
It's all together.
is a
Board. Board
committee
function.
meeting conducted under a closed,
Yep.
we enter a
Yes.
closed
Right.
session, there's minutes taken, that's an official meeting of the public body.
Right.
Right,
Right.
Homework done before the meeting
No more than 2.
is not an open meeting, because it's just sort of individual prep work. However, to avoid any issues from arising, no more than a quorum of people shouldn't be in the same room together discussing a case. There should
Okay.
be, 2 or less, in any given room, at any given time. If it just prevents there from being any allegations that anyone, there was a side conversation about the case.
Okay.
So-
On that-
so Steve, you're saying then, we can have a closed meeting with how many of us here discussing the case, right? Going over the case and discussing the case?
Absolutely.
So why can't any meeting that we all get together that would be a quorum, can't we consider that a closed meeting to discuss, or we can't?
But you still have
You
to,
have to adhere to the Open Meetings Act.
we have to go through the whole rigmarole of an agenda, public
Well, we
notice.
plan on doing that anyway, but the thing,
But not for the homework.
no, not for the home.
Just for when we actually come together.
Right,
Yes.
but
Okay.
okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
I
It
thought
makes
the
sense.
work, I thought the discussion from last meeting was, she was gonna come up with a calendar. So it's a public calendar, since we have Gmail, so that we make sure if I wanna come on a
We have
Wednesday,
a specific
coincidentally,
schedule.
Sean is coming, everybody else is aware that you should not pick Wednesday, or pick Wednesday or whatever that time frame. But I thought the calendar was going to solve all of
A
those,
potential conflict.
potential conflicts. So if there is a challenge, only thing we have to do is publish the calendar and say, no. These are the sign-in times. This is what they did. They came in, you reviewed it on this day, I reviewed it on this day. But to avoid any notion, it's just like we all should not assemble on the same day to do research.
Which is unlikely probably to happen anyway.
Mhm.
But
because
I,
everyone's got busy schedules.
Yeah.
when we schedule the meeting, we're probably still gonna be doing research anyway when we schedule the meeting. And when we close the circle to discuss discuss it,
You could do,
we're still gonna be doing research, so.
all of the research, all of the review in a closed session.
Right,
Yeah.
For the first, it's just, so there's no prohibition on there being sort of review and research during a closed deliberation.
right.
Okay.
We hope to do this because it would shorten the time. Because originally, we were just gonna all come in at the same time, sit there and review the case, make a decision. But if it's a long case, it could take forever to do it, and we could be there all night. And none of us wanna do that. So that's the reason why we suggested on coming in, on our own to review parts of it so that we know what we're dealing with. So when we come in on that day, we can handle the case. I'd like to make a suggestion for our first case, that we all come in at the same time, do a closed meeting, so we can get a feel for what we're doing.
Right.
And at the same time, and that way we'll do a meeting, we'll go to closed session, we'll review the case, and then we'll do our discussion then.
And
Because that way, we'll get a feel for it, before we go off into individual things.
we can do the training then too.
Right,
Because-
all at one time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that way, that first case gets our feet wet, we all come out and we know what we're thinking, how we did in training.
Yeah.
How we did it in training is the way I would like to do our first case, so that we all have an understanding of what we're doing and get a feel for it, so we don't make any mistakes, that we end up in appeal
That's a great idea.
and mess it up.
But, and I think the expectation of Paul, we should revise that, the expectation that when the cases come in on a Monday, that instead of saying by Friday, everyone should have had an opportunity to look at it, let's extend it to Sunday, because sometimes, I know for me, I might not be able to get it until Sunday.
I agree.
Or Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you're right, we may have a busy week, and I know I have a lot of things going on, all of us have a lot of things going on. We may not be able to get there that week. So I understand that, and I'm all with that.
Okay.
Is everybody using their Gmail?
Yes.
Not yet.
I just signed in today about 45 minutes ago, so,
I need to call you to learn how to sign it. Because
no, it's not.
It was a learning curve for me too.
Okay.
Kiona, if I can just quickly ask you a question. Next time you speak with the county admin
No,
on the logistics of using the third floor, knowing that they may need to break this into multiple different, saying that you are limited to 2 people in certain situations, is there any way of managing that as a calendar item, since multiple conference rooms do get used a lot here during business hours?
Right, that's what I was thinking, but we have 4 up on the 3rd floor. I want to say at least 4 that I've seen thus far. So I would suggest that we use Linwood. We suggested that we use Linwood in Clarksville. But of course, somebody else, if say we have 4 people coming in, 2 people gonna go in Linwood, 2 people gonna go in Clarksville. So I probably have to get with Dawn to make sure that the rooms are, you know, reserved just for me for whatever amount of time I need.
Exactly. So I just thought I'd run that by you. That's good.
Okay, so we're all good so far? Steve, anything that you can add to that to?
Nothing to add.
Okay, good. It's a good thing. All right, so we're looking at that. We'll take a look at that as it comes up. Wait to see what's happening. So I hesitate to schedule something in the next week because I don't know when they're gonna turn it over to us. So I'm gonna have to leave that open, but we still have a meeting for the end of August. And I'm gonna be out of town part of next week, or the week after anyway, and coming back. So this could be troublesome if it's really a major situation where we have to really look into it. So, I guess we'll play it by ear and see what happens, because we have no idea what it's gonna be. But that's just one time it's happening now, but it could happen anytime. You know, we get around the holidays, any of that could happen. So,
And
the
Paul,
next
that's,
couple weeks-
but Paul, that's why I'm emphasizing that when it comes, we need to come together with the milestones. Because at the end of the day, it just needs to be a quorum present. So
Right.
if Octavia's not available, if I'm not available,
right,
and if we have to move and make a decision.
Right.
If the quorum is present
right,
and there's a majority vote, it is
Right.
what it is.
that's right.
To not penalize. So that's why I said
Right.
it's important that you can, so we know it's a 30-day time frame. I can be on vacation, then I need to make time, right? To get myself up to speed so I can be prepared to have the discussion when it's time for the
Mhm.
discussion to be had. So that's why it's important for us that if we send an email to Kiana to say, I would like to schedule time to review such and such on this date. What are the available places and dates to make sure we have access? Because again, all of our schedules vary
Mhm.
and differ, so we can be prepared and submit things timely. So that's why I said it's just my opinion from past experiences. It's very critical to, when a case comes, to outline to all of us what is the appropriate time frames for us to at least have a preliminary discussion. Or, you know, depending on the complexity of the case, like he is mentioning that we may have to have 2 formal, right, meetings, as long as the proper notices are being sent, you know, to not violate the Open Meetings Act. That's what we need to do. But
Right.
we would not know that, right, until we kind of see the case.
Right.
And we can kind of tell based on our background, if a case is gonna be real complex, or it's gonna be something that will take us our normal 30-day review, because not all cases gonna take 30 days.
No.
So that's what I'm saying, that,
Okay.
you know, I'm cool with your idea with us doing it one together so we can kind of gauge the
Right.
timelines.
That'd work.
One quick heads up, Lieutenant Thomas has just raised his hand up on the console.
All right,
so-
let him speak.
Hey, is there a date within the next 2 weeks that everybody would be available, just in case if the case is done? That way we already have a meeting on the books and then we able to line everything up, you know, for the sake of time. And in the event that if the case is not ready for you guys, we would just cancel that meeting. So would it be beneficial to look at, I guess, some dates now within the next 2 weeks and see if everybody's available for that?
How early do the next 2 weeks, do
What are you
you
talking about?
anticipate we can, what's the target date?
Are we talking about the week of the 14th or the week of the 20th? Because we have a meeting scheduled for the week of the 27th. Well, I always count Sundays the week, but the 28th. We have a meeting scheduled for the 30th of August. Are you talking about the 16th? Are you talking about the 23rd? Something like that? What week are you talking about, Lieutenant?
Within the next 2 weeks. So I
That
know
would
Mark
be the
Reed said,
first-
I know Mark Reed, Lieutenant Reed said that the case should be ready within 2 weeks. We're just waiting on the final redactions that need to be done, and then it should be ready to go. But I don't have a hard timeline for when that would be, when it would be ready. So I guess it depends on within the next 2 weeks, whatever everybody would be able to schedule a meeting for.
So anytime between the 31st and the 12th. That's the next 2 weeks.
Doesn't have to be a Wednesday.
It doesn't have to be any specific day. The only day it cannot be is the 2nd.
Okay,
Because we
Lieutenant,
have-
how about you just throw out the dates and we can go from there? I think that'll work best.
What's that,
I didn't catch it. What'd you say?
I was saying, could Lieutenant throw out the dates and we can go from there since he has some dates in mind?
I didn't have any dates in mind. I was just looking at the next 2 weeks. Whatever you guys.
Hey, how about the 16th?
I mean, how about Wednesday the 9th, August 9th? Does that work for everybody?
No, he doesn't have Wednesdays.
We'll have a quorum, but Samantha won't be able to.
And neither will Chris.
Yeah, the Wednesday.
So how about the, let's look at.
I can do the 23rd, 1, 2, but you can't do it.
Well, he said within
Oh, 2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks. How about, well, we can look at, there's two other dates we can look at.
Nothing.
We can look at the 10th, or we can go to the following week, the 14th. How's the 14th?
I can do the 14th, I can do the 10th.
How's the 14th and the 10th look to you guys?
I will be out of the country, so.
Oh, which day-
you'll
which
have
Which
to-
dates?
you'll have to remove me.
The 10th and the 14th, or which one?
Yes,
Both of them?
I'm gone.
You gone?
So the 10th,
Or the 14th?
the 10th.
How about the 18th?
18th is a
18th.
Friday.
I can do that, we need to do it on Friday. I'd say everybody's happy if I do it on Friday, but I can do that one.
I
You
can
can't do that.
18.
Everybody can do the 18th.
Everybody do 18th?
Well, can you do the 18th?
Yeah, I guess the 18th is in.
18th it is.
Man, I got outvoted on the island.
When's the next meeting? When's the next ACC meeting scheduled for?
30th.
The 30th. Okay. Yeah, I think the case would definitely be ready before then, and I would hate this to wait just to that meeting. But it's completely up to you guys.
18th. We'll put it on the 18th.
Okay.
It's a good time for you guys on 18th.
It gotta be early though. Can't be no 6 o'clock.
No, I think what he, excuse me, I think what he was saying is the case should be ready before the 18th, and he doesn't want us to lose days by waiting to the
Right.
18th.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, so we're not gonna meet on the 18th?
I mean, I don't want you guys to wait until the 30th.
I see, okay.
You wanna try to, I'd rather do the 14th if we're gonna do late in the afternoon. I hate doing a 6 o'clock Friday meeting.
14th?
Yeah.
But
I
how-
canceled my trip, so I'm available. So y'all just let me know a date.
I'm on a plane.
You're not here.
Hey, Samantha's not here. See,
So how's the 14th?
That's what I'm saying.
All
I
right.
don't have a quorum.
Yeah.
You need to get that case, and that's what I'm saying. We gotta keep it moving.
But for the
Alright.
first meeting, I mean, we can make it all.
Right, that's what I wanted to
Let's do the 18th, it's a Friday, I know that, but that's
6 o'clock in the evening is too late on Friday.
we can do it earlier then. Can anybody do it earlier than 6 o'clock on Friday, the 18th?
I'm pretty open for the 18th.
Let's just do it, that one time.
2 o'clock on Friday? the 18th?
Now, you said that's
I got.
Yeah, what's your earliest time, Samantha? Yes, she'll be here.
I'm gonna be here on the 18th.
What's your earliest time on the 18th, Samantha? No, she'll be here. What's your earliest time, Samantha, on the 18th? Your earliest.
The time stated, I'm coming from Temple Hills.
So what's the earliest time you can be here on the 18th?
6.
I could push that 5.
Okay, 5 o'clock. How about 5 o'clock? Can everybody be here at 5 o'clock on the 18th? Paul, I'm sorry.
One Friday out of 365 days, do it, Paul.
It's Friday,
I have things to do, but okay. All right, you wanna do Friday the 18th at 5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, yeah,
Yes.
Friday the 18th.
What we got?
I can make, if, I might have an appointment, a standing appointment, so if I can't make it, it'd be like 5:15.
Okay, that's
5 o'clock.
Fair enough.
And will someone from the police department be available then?
Yes.
I hope so.
They're like it's Friday.
You should ask that first.
I'll say up front from the IT side, they're not gonna be happy because it ain't gonna be me.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
You like to be?
I'm actually gonna be in Atlanta, I believe.
Sure.
Street running, that's what I'm saying.
just popped up, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be in Atlanta.
Yeah, okay.
So we set for the 18th at 5.
We're still waiting to hear from the police department.
Yeah,
Someone's
police-
available.
Yeah, they said they're good.
So, I mean, well, let me ask you this, if everybody's kinda, on the 18th, why can't, is somebody out of town on the 17th?
No.
I'd rather do 17.
No, I'm just asking, is everybody?
The 17th is a Thursday?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd rather do 17.
Let's see here, let me see. Now, let's put it on my calendar, I gotta cancel, so wait a minute, shoot. Let's see, oh, the 17th is wide open on the 17th.
So why can't we do a Thursday?
That's Thursday,
We
sounds
can.
good. Thursday's good.
Well,
Okay.
you know,
We can do 17.
Stay there.
oh, geez, okay,
The 17.
At what- at 6 o'clock, is
Yeah, we
that?
can do 6 o'clock on the 17th. I don't know.
As long as not, there's all out of
Can
spot.
everybody do 6 o'clock on the 17th? That good?
Yes.
Police department?
Police department?
Yes.
Yes, we all end on the 17th at 6 o'clock.
I won't be there, but I will see if Lieutenant Reed will be able to, as well as computer. I will have somebody there for you. I will, since that works for you guys, I will make sure somebody's there. So Lieutenant Reed and especially somebody from my computer ops section, so that way they can troubleshoot any issue that you guys might have.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, that'll work. That was a hard job.
It's not like it was on fun. I mean, like,
Just one day, like you was down on this Friday.
But you know what, I had things going on that day.
Yeah. I see, yeah. At 6 o'clock, we said? On
6 o'clock on the 17th.
17th, okay.
That's fine. And then we'll still have a meeting on the 30th if we still need it. Because, you know, we'll have the 17th, so we'll see.
No, we need it. It look like we need it. Okay? We need all the people.
Okay.
So,
All right, so,
we don't know how much time that meeting's gonna take, but we'll try to keep it.
Cause remember, they said they got one, but they still got 5. You don't know,
when they're gonna get that
you
done?
don't know,
Right.
this may happen at,
We don't know what this is
Talk
gonna be,
about
which
two.
one is gonna be either, so. All right, Lieutenant, so we're good on the 17th at 6 o'clock on the 17th. We'll have the meeting here. Kiana, you'll broadcast it? Broadcast it. What is it?
The room for us?
Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
Post it. Yeah, broadcasting. Sorry.
Man.
Okay, so that's good. Anything else on that,
no.
Steve?
Nothing for me.
Okay, so, Officer Lieutenant Reed, anything else on that? You good?
Think we're good.
Excellent. All right, so,
Thomas is good too.
approve, yeah. Is anybody else online that has any issues with that? Lieutenant Thomas?
No, sir, all good.
Okay, great. All right, moving on. The approval of the closed minutes.
Do we need to go in a closed session for that, Steve?
Yeah, we're gonna need to, do we?
Unfortunately for the police guys, that means I'm gonna have to
Well,
put you guys back into
if-
attendee.
Hold on a second, hold on.
If no changes need to get made,
I didn't see any.
if we're not gonna discuss anything about the minutes,
Mhm.
then I don't know how we could go into closed session.
like why we need to.
But, so I think if everyone review these,
Mhm.
and
All right, let's,
are good with them, then we can just do this right.
all right, let's do them. Do we need to go into discussion on the closed minutes?
No,
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the closed minutes from July 26th?
I make a motion that we approve the closed minutes from July 26th.
Do we have a second?
Octavia kid,
so,
Sorry to interrupt, these aren't the closed sessions, these aren't the closed session minutes from July 26th, that might have been all documents thought. These are the minutes from all the prior closed sessions.
Oh, all the prior
Oh,
closed sessions.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I see.
It was just the way the document was titled, but when you
Okay.
flip through, it's all our prior closed sessions.
Okay, so I'll revise that motion. I move that we approve the minutes from all the previous closed sessions.
Is there a second?
I second.
Samantha seconds. Chris approves. All in favor? Paul, yes.
Chris, yes?
Sean Lamb, yes.
Octavia Kid, yes.
Samantha, yes.
We have a unanimous decision. The minutes are approved.
Closed.
All right. Agenda items for our next meeting. Discussion on the board stipend. Definitely.
That seems to be a standing topic.
Next year, this time will be.
I guess by that time we will have a case, so.
We should have a case on by our next meeting. So the discussion of the case of the next meeting,
You just gonna call it discussion of the case?
Basically,
what we want is what is.
I don't know, it's just a.
I don't know what to call it right now because
Like discussion of the case, yes, uh-huh.
I don't know what to call it. It's a case discussion.
I mean,
And that's gonna be on, you talking about August's meeting?
something obviously generic like,
Case discussion. or-
yeah, complaint discussion, or complaint deliberation, or complaint review.
Yeah.
But obviously can't have anything specific.
Right,
as
that's what I'm
to-
saying. That's why I said
Yeah.
case discussion. That left it kind of simple. But if Samantha has a better.
No, I was just asking the way you said. I'm messing with you. Yes,
Hard time about the way you said.
we
it.
like case
All right.
discussion.
I'm a little tired, so I don't mind. Yes, sir?
I guess finalizing where we, times and locations where we can review said cases or documents, like, let's finalize that. Because I know I'm 8, 9 o'clock person to come out and want to review something. So just finalizing what's the approved time, what's the approved rooms, and so forth.
Outstanding. Did you hear that, Kiana?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, so that's gonna be that'll be actually on our next agenda.
So access time for review of the case, right?
Yes.
And also on our agenda on our next meetings will be,
Building access.
new meeting dates, and, discussions, but new meeting dates and, procedures for our next, for our cases.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll discuss that again too on our next meeting, because we'll have to figure out, like you were saying, where we're gonna meet, what we're gonna do, and how we're gonna do it.
So since I won't be here for the next meeting, and I will try to be here, virtually if I can, but right now I don't know. For the record, I want to say that I have no availability except on Wednesdays, except for the 4th Wednesday of the month. And if there's a 5th Wednesday, that's the only Wednesday evening I'm available for meetings, so
Okay,
just.
good to know. All right, is there any other business? Anybody? Samantha,
No.
Steve,
No,
Octavia,
No, sir.
Sean,
No.
Chris,
No.
Kiana,
No.
any of our distinguished guests?
No, sir.
Okay, excellent. So do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
I move for adjournment.
Do I have a second?
Octavia Kid seconds.
All in favor? Paul, yes.
Chris, yes.
Sean Lamb, yes.
Octavia, yes.
Samantha, yes.
It is unanimous. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for showing up. I told you it would be short.
Thank you.
And we are adjourned.